Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. This is just a brief word in regards to some of the happenings that are going on this day. And Allahumma musta'an. We have one brother, he is making severe mistakes in the understanding of the Shahada, which is La ilaha illallah. And then we have another person now making a video defending him in support of him, because they're all followers of Hawa. They're the followers of the desires, and they're not looking at the truth, and they're not trying to look at the evidence. And it reminded me of something that the Sheikh used to say. This is something that Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah used to say in his classes that I used to hear in recordings whenever I used to listen to recordings of the Sheikh before. And it's something that all the students, they memorize from the Sheikh, and they used to say this a lot. One line of poetry that he would always tell the people whenever they're arguing on batil. Because the thing is that they stand up, and instead of looking at the truth and looking at the evidence, they double down and they start to, and just get arrogant and start to find support in something where there is no support. So for example, like they go and say Tawheed al-Hakimiyyah, and then say all the Salaf, who name one person from amongst the Salaf that called to this this understanding that La ilaha illallah means no sovereign except Allah. And he's like, basically, and looks up and like all of them. No, show one from amongst the Sahaba and from amongst the Salaf. The Salaf of the first three generations, show one person that had that understanding, that the word Ilah, it meant sovereign. Show one. Now, we made a video, and we posted the video here on my channel, and posted the video, and Sajid posted the video on the Institute page. We were talking about La ilaha illallah, and talking about the meaning of La ilaha illallah, and the understanding of the Salaf of La ilaha illallah. And none of the Salaf. So he can go back and look at Ash-Shari'ah lil-Ajuri. He can go look at Lalakai's book. He can go look at all these books of Ahl Sunnah from before that have statements of the Salaf, and go look at Tafsir al-Tabari. And then look at what he brings, because in Tafsir al-Tabari, he brings all the meaning of La ilaha illallah and how the Salaf understood it. And even one of the brothers I noticed, and I was shown this, and then I saw it, and I sat down and I read the whole comment, where the brother actually posted this from Tafsir al-Tabari on the brother's video. But he still, even after that, still went on to continue saying what he's saying from Batil. So, like I said, it reminded me of these lines of poetry that the Sheikh used to say. And I'll say them to you, because I'm going to probably, the more that we have to deal with people like this, the more I am going to continue to say this line of poetry, where the poet said, "Sata'lamu hina yanjali al-ghubaru, afarasun tahtaka am himaru." And that's my statement to them, because you're doing jidal bil batil. Innaka la khasumun mubin, wallahi, subhanallah. And then the dhalim, and the people have to understand, and I'm going to get to this line of poetry in a second. The dhalim is the one who yukhalif al-adillah. The dhalim and the mukhalif and the mufarriq is the one that yukhalif al-adillah. The one that goes against the adillah from the Quran and the Sunnah, he is the mufarriq. He is the one that's breaking the people up in the groups. Because the Quran and the Sunnah, we go back to the understanding of the Sahaba. So if you're not on that understanding, then you're the one that's causing the tafriqah. You're the one that's causing the division amongst the people. Don't put that blame on somebody else. Just like the mithal of Jahiliyyah used to say, "Ani ramatni bida'iha fansallat." This mithal of Jahiliyyah that she accused me of having her sickness, and then she ran away. She slipped away. Which means, and this is what they do. They go and they accuse people of doing the things that they do, of lying. Of nobody's lying. Everybody brought, and all these videos that came out is all Quran and Sunnah. So the debate that I read, "Sata'lamu hina yanjali al-ghubaru," that you'll know when the dust clears, because in the war, back in the old days, they used to fight on horseback. So once they were in the throes of battle, because of all the horses running around the battlefield, there was so much dust that got kicked up. And this is the whole terminology that we use in America of like kicking up dust, causing problems. You know, because that dust, it starts to get kicked up into the air because of the movement of the horses and everything. So he says, he said, once the dust clears, the dust settles, you'll know. Are you riding a horse? Is there a horse underneath you? Am himaru, or is it a donkey? So the person that has the hujjah from the Quran and the Sunnah, farasun. The person that's calling to his hawa, and the person that's calling to his desires, and calling to something that's understanding that outside of the understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah, tahtak al-himar. Al-himar tahtak. Allahumma musta'an. You're riding a donkey, you think that you're riding a horse, but you're really just riding a donkey. So Allahumma musta'an. Allahumma musta'an. Like I said, as long as these people are alive on the face of this earth, and as long as I'm alive, I'm going to continue to say these lines of poetry, just like the Shaykh continued to say them, because these people, they never cease. Wallahi, these people from Ahl al-Bid'ah, they never cease. And all they want to do is argue and argue and argue just to get you to say something and do something or whatever. Ya akhi, mutu bi ghaydikum kama qultu lakum. Mutu bi ghaydikum. Because, akhi, we don't, all this popularity and, followers, akhi, we don't care about it. That's what y'all care about. Y'all care about that. We don't care about this. All we care about is the truth. And you come back to America after 21 years of being gone and have this little... This kid that never studied in his life running around saying it's false, and what, we're supposed to be quiet? People are supposed to be quiet and not talk about this. Allahumma musta'an. So if you think that people are going to be quiet, nah. Mutu bi ghaydikum. Like I said, those videos are going around. Every single student of knowledge that has seen that video that I know of, that I sent the video to, that Sajid sent the video to, that saw that video, this guy giving his interpretation of La ilaha illallah, everybody was like, that's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Allahumma musta'an. So why is it that this person can't see that? So Allahumma musta'an, akhi. I'll say it one more time. ستعلم حين ينجلي الغبار أفارس تحتك أم حمار. وإلهنا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.